Who's tired of working on cars?
John's tired of working on cars.
Matt?
Yeah.
You tired of working on cars? What about Mason Hotchkins?
You alright?
Hey, look at 360, Mason.
Yeah, 360. Dude, alright, hold on. Wait, turn back around. Face the other way. Listen, dude, I'm not just going to zoom in on Mason's ass, but whoever's... what? Oh my God. What brand are those?
They're keys.
Okay. Keys,
The only brand that...
Okay, make the torsos a little bit longer for all of us. Mason's had that thing like dental floss in his ass crack all day.
It's not even that bad.
Dude, turn around again. Dude. Dude, yes, just turn around, slightly bend over.
Are those like
Dude, that...
Are those like a fucking child with like extra long legs? It's like, I got a lot of overalls and all mine come, like, I can put them on.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have the straps pretty loose.
Okay, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna pause the camera. Okay, I'm gonna pause the camera. We're gonna do something. All right. Who's tired of working on damn cars?
I'm damn tired of working on cars.
Mason, what are you wearing?
What kind of overalls?
Well, these are keys. You can get them at Roll King.
Where?
Roll King. That's where I buy them. I guess you can buy them wherever you want.
Dude, you just suddenly got more Indian. I hope someone random just comes in the shop right now. I swear. We'll just send Mason to go. Oh my God. Oh. What are the chances? Yo, come over here, please.
Come check out Possum Nips.
Whoa. Okay, whoa. We don't throw insults around in here, all right?
Possum nips.
Hey, just take your shirt off and work on that thing with them.
What's your possum nips look like there, bud? Oh, you gotta have a nip off.
What the hell is going on in this video? All right, dude, stand back. This is a PG channel.
Bro,
all right.
He's got hairier nipples than Ava.
All right, guys. Here, I'm gonna hand David the camera. Oh my God, we got to keep David busy with the camera, or else he'll just start throwing out insults to Mason, like out of nowhere. Is he in the background of the video?
Here we go.
Right.
Now we're good.
So, we're on the thrash to make it to Georgia. If we don't make it, this is why. It's just been kind of one of those, I feel like every time we put them together, there's always these little hang-ups here and there. Sometimes avoidable delays, sometimes unavoidable delays. We got the black sheep pretty much all the way back together. We're going to do some upgrades to it, weld some tabs on the exhaust, but everything is back together with that, so we are ready to fire that up tonight. David, shout out to David. He put in work today, drove all the way up to Charlotte, picked up some parts from Brown & Miller, drove them back to us. We were able to plumb this guy here, the Red Lobster, changing some stuff around, moved our fuel filter location, moved our oil filter location, using all the Brown & Miller lines. We got the crimper here. Needed some specific fittings, which we have some of them. Some of them didn't make the trip. So we're going to do as much as we can. And then what's our plan after that?
Oh, we're gonna make it work. So if you've ever been building a race car and you need some parts to finish building it, but you don't, and then you just do something that you normally wouldn't have just to finish it, hit that subscribe button.
Hell yeah. All right, let's take a look at some of these Brown & Miller fittings that we got. When you order fittings from Brown & Miller, if you do have a crimper, this is how they will come. If you don't have a crimper, you can get your measurements and send stuff to them, correct? Is that
Yeah, they have field serviceable AN fittings. So they assemble just like a normal AN fitting. Like if you guys ever use Earl's Ultra Pro, basically the same style fitting, but crimp's better. It's lighter.
You could also have them, if you had the lines, you can crimp it with swivels.
You could say, yeah, you could, so like this, so you got 120 and 120, and this one swivels, so if you're like, I'm not sure how it's clocked, like, it's like 30 degrees off from 90, and this one's upside down, and I know I'm going to mess it up if I tell you, so just put a swivel on one end, and then you're good to go. If it has a straight, you don't need to worry about a swivel, so anything that has a straight on the end of it, you just say, hey, I need my length from here to here. So the best thing to do is if you have fittings, it makes it easy. If you don't have fittings, just kind of take a small tape measure. So we have this one. They sell even a smaller one, like the little tiny Stanley ones that you're like, why the hell would anybody buy that tape measure in the checkout line? They work really good because they're pretty flexible and you can bend it how you do your line. So you say like, okay, 15 to 15 from tip to tip. So the problem is we needed we're doing dash 12 out of the pump into the fuel filter. Then we're doing dash 12 fitting to dash 10 line because our rails are 10 out, but we got a dash 10 to dash 12 hose. It's backwards. Yeah, they're having, so their computer system's down and they're really struggling. They were like, listen, we're doing everything by paper, you know, it's gonna be a while before we get the order. And I was like, no, we need it today. So they went through and they grabbed it all, and it was just we got a lot of stuff, you know, no harm, no foul. We'll figure something out. So what we'll end up doing is, where this is a 1/2 inch MPT into the rail to a dash 10, we're going to try to find a 1/2 inch, or I'll make it 1/2 inch to dash 12, and then we'll just run dash 12 to our feet. That way we can do everything tonight, get it going, because we either have to send somebody back to Charlotte, overnight it, and then that would put us into Friday before we crank it. And I think once we get our fuel tank mounted, we'll be close ready to crank it. So one of the things we did, we made some lines. We got the feed going from the filter to the block. We got their block fixed. I don't know if you guys saw that video. We tapped it. Kevin had the tap, so
I gotta return that to him, by the way.
Tap that ass, got the fitting in there.
And I do want to say something here. Not talking any smack on Mason. Mason's been putting in work on Chase's car over there. They opted, yeah, he is, because he's making fuel lines the old-fashioned way, as I would call it, where we're doing them with the crimper and using the Brown and Miller lines, and
it actually makes it enjoyable.
Oh yeah, plumbing a car is like, oh, I got to plumb it. Yeah, it's not bad. Mason, how was your time making like?
So I really like wiring and plumbing cars, because that's like, it's a little bit of an art, right?
Wait,
you can make it as nice as you want.
You had a shirt this whole time?
Yeah, it was too hot earlier. I had to take it off. But I really enjoy it, but it's like such a pain, especially when you're doing like
stainless PTFE.
Yeah, when you're doing race car stuff, it like really sucks. You got PTFE line and all this, and there's just a pain in the ass.
So how
brutal? You guys are flying through it.
Yeah, how brutal is it when we're like, oh, we got to make this crimp?
Yeah, every time I hear the crimper,
he cringes inside.
I'm over here and I tear.
And too, like, it's really hard to the lines slip on and off. So if you want to do your line, it's kind of difficult because you got to make the line and go, oh, I want to take 2 inches out of it, and you're like, it's done now. So this, we can make it, and then we can,
you literally mock it up fully other than the crimp, and then once it's good and you're happy. Matt just did one where he put it on there. He's like, hey, take 1 inch off this, go over there, just cut it. Oh, we got to go get another blade.
So we're gonna
no, I think it was good enough. You had to straighten out over some centrifugal force will align it. So we got this, we made our line from our pump to here, and this line, we could have gone to the rear, but this is like one of the things you have to think about. Like, this filter housing has to come apart. So any guys that have ever seen a clear view, the oil comes in the top, goes through a stainless mesh screen, and then out the bottom. Well, and then it has a port right here, and this air fitting, what you do is you can put compressed air on it and it'll blow all the oil out of this if you're going to take it apart, because sometimes it'll just have residual standing oil. So like, you go to disassemble it, you pressurize it with air, it blows all the oil out of it. You take these 4 bolts out, the housing top comes off, and then the screen comes out, and it's like, you can get different mesh, like 40 micron, 60 micron, maybe a little bit smaller. So you take that and blow it out some brake clean, slap it back down in there, you're good to go. If you're racing and you have an expensive motor and you really care about your program, I would recommend a Clearview, because for one, it's going to be cheaper than replacing filters, so it pays for itself, and you get to see the condition of the motor. You don't know how many times I want to put a Clearview on every single car in here.
Think about it. That's how we realized the motor was messed up.
Yeah, exactly. I looked at it, I was like, damn, that's a lot of bearing material. And I was like, nah, that's from the old motor. I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth it.
You can catch a problem. You can look at it, just like when we did Slick Rick. We were constantly looking at the clear view.
I think we did a video on Slick Rick taking the clear view apart.
Yeah, you see a little bit, you know, and you can go like, oh, I'm starting to have a thrust bearing problem, or oop, there's some problems, or just the condition of the oil, because these things are sealed up. You don't have a dipstick, you don't have anything, so like, you don't know how milk the oil is. You might look down there and go, damn, that's just pumping straight water. You wouldn't know that unless you had a clear view. So they have the 4-inch and the 6-inch. 4-inch will flow enough for a Hemi, so the 6-inch is better, but if you're tight on space, you can do the 4-inch. It's a little cheaper.
We've done the 4-inch on everything, I think.
I think the 4-inch.
Yeah, the Bad Apple had a 6-inch, but the 4-inch flows.
What happened to that one?
It's over there.
Oh, why is it on the shelf?
I don't know because you didn't put it on the sheet.
We're not putting it on the sheet. We don't want to know.
Yeah, I like that. As our oil pressures like not as high as it was.
That's how John does his taxes. He's like, if I don't file, I gotta pay.
Yeah. No, I'd like to mention I'm up to date on all my tax paperwork. Thank you. Is that Mason?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to zoom in on Mason.
All right. So we got this bad boy done. We need to get our.
Well, we got some stuff mounted. So we got the oil filter mounted here. We got the fuel filter mounted here. And we're going to put the fuel tank here. We ordered some bungs off A-Tech, which will be in tomorrow morning. And that's really kind of like the home stretch. I mean, the wiring harness on this thing is just absolutely in shambles. But I think that's kind of something that we just plug up.
Yeah, I mean, it was plugged up before. It might not be great, but it's something that I don't want to tackle. This car was...
It had many different revisions before we got it.
Yeah, you'll see. We see it a lot because we buy a lot of cars. But if you guys go buy one, you'll see that, like... Some people when they build them, they just do weird stuff. Like it's got 2 dome pressure sensors, and it's got sensors over here for the like. It's just got a lot of extra stuff that probably you don't need, or I don't know what kind of usable data. I mean, maybe they were tracking a problem with the wastegates, and they thought that this one wasn't getting the correct dome pressure. There could be reasons for that, but there's just a lot of extra stuff in here.
I think when we ended up with this car, it had changed hands in a matter of 4 times in less than a year.
Yeah, it went from a lot of places. It went from having an 88 to a 118, back to an 88.
Went from Canada to Florida to North Carolina.
To us.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to put the camera down. We're going to set it up on a time lapse. We're going to get to work and start knocking stuff out. And we're going to see how far we can get, and then probably tomorrow, if we can just have it where we put the fuel tank in it, plug the wiring harness up some, and fire it up, I think that'd be pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I think so. Run some push lock hose for the vacuum stuff.
What do we do with this?
Cap it. I guess that's our oil fill cap.
Yeah, there's our oil fill.
Yeah.
All right.
So... What, do you have a scavenge line ran to it from the dry sump?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd be doing there.
I don't know. I mean, you're scavenging, and this is another, like, you scavenge into a valve cover, and then you got a dash 12 line right there. It's like, what are you scavenging? You're just pulling air from your catch can? I don't know. Whatever. So, we're going to do that. I think we're going to start off, we'll do a line from the fuel pump to the fuel filter, figure out what we're going to do here, if we're going to wait on the fitting or if we're just going to make it happen. And then from here we can get a line, maybe mock the tank up so we can do our line there, because the tank's got to pretty much go in a very specific spot, so we'll be able to hold it there and go, yep, here's our line. And then get our vent done for our tank, turbo feed line. So we'll get a measurement. We probably should have done that today, but
yeah, I didn't think about that.
We can get a long line.
I mean, we have some feed lines.
Yeah, dash 4. Even if it's like 14 foot long, we just cool it up just enough to crank it.
I know where there's one sitting.
We'll measure one for tomorrow. So yeah, on the bottom of the Clearview, it's got some ports that you can use for oil pressure, turbo feed, whatever. So
pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good setup. I mean, it's because it's a good investment. It's like, I think they're like, I don't know, 300.
Mason's going over there to the Vice, looking at him. He's building a damn fuel line.
Look at him struggling right now.
It's a weird AN wrench.
Well, see, the AN wrench is about this long, and these Amazon fuel lines, they're...
How much?
That's why you get a pipe.
How much happier would you be if it was going?
I'd be super happy. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to figure out exactly what it costs to pull that car apart, so we're going to compare it to what it costs to bring it.
Yeah, well, I've said a couple of times, especially with the Brown and Miller stuff. Like, you got a fitting like this, which is an O-ring fitting for like a what are we using this on, the oil pump?
Yep, so oil pump.
So usually you're gonna have an O-ring fitting, like, so it'd be 10 to 12, and then you're gonna have a 12 AN swivel going out. Well, we just put 2 fittings into one, so this might be more expensive than the 12AN.
Yeah, no, it's also, we actually got 3 fittings because we got an adapter. We're going from 10 to 12, and we're going to the port, so we don't need a port to AN.
Yeah.
So like the cost of this fitting would
it's more, but when you do everything else, and we have to have this because the pump is sitting right here and the steering rack is right here. By the time you go like, okay, I got this fitting and adapter and everything else down here, this is in the steering rack. So by being able to screw this straight in the pump, saves us our height.
A number of...
It looks way better.
Yeah, a number of reasons why. And I tell people a lot, I'm like, hey, you know, they're like, man, I don't know if I want to do the Brown Miller stuff. I'm like, at the end of the day, like, you're talking about, like, you're splitting hairs if one's more expensive than the other, and you're left with such a higher quality
You
product.
can play with rubber. Like, if you got to really... If you can't do a apples to orange. Like, if you're going to compare it, go look at, like, Earl's Ultra Pro, a good flowing fitting. Like, it's the same cost. And then when you start getting into some cheaper rubber hose and everything, sure, it might be cheaper, the hose might be cheaper, the fittings might be cheaper, but at the same time, like, there's been a lot of times that I've had to replace fuel systems and stuff on cars that have just been done, you know, a year before that, because now the methanol or the ethanol has deteriorated it, where this is going to be good for the life of the car. So buy once, cry once. So,
all right, well, we'll get the camera down. It's time lapse. We'll start getting stuff knocked out. My man Logan's here, so you know what that means? Convertible time.
On this?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm out.
I did it on the Black Sheep, and they were a pain in the ass. And then I thought I had to pull the motor out, and I was like, damn, I'm going to wait till Logan comes back to help him pull the converter bolts out.
Several times this week.
I know. And here we are. It's ready to rock. Alright, I officially retire as the crimp king.
Oh, come on. Crimping ain't easy, but you don't give up.
I'm throwing in the towel. I'm no longer the crimp king. I've been dethroned of my title due to my lack of
common sense.
I mean, intelligence, lack of attention to detail, lack of ability to read correctly.
You're not dumb. You're just illiterate.
Show them what the crimper did to you.
Oh, dude. Can you see it from that angle? Like the side?
I can see it.
Like,
You gotta go to the other side so you get the other.
Hold on.
Let it focus.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me just give you guys. I don't know, do the Brown and Miller want their specs out there for all this stuff?
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
if
I
this is
don't
kind of
think-
private or whatever. All right, so this is the sheet that you go off of to set up the crimper. As you can see, it lists what style hose you're using because that has different crimp settings. I accidentally was going the wrong way, okay? And there's no excuse for it because, so like for example, like we use polyester and Armorade. So let's say Matt's like, hey, set the machine up to crimp an Armorade 10AN. So I'm like, all right, 19 millimeter die, that's fine. I'm using Armorade, set it to 4. Well, I would go, oh, Armorade, oh, boom, right there. Set it to 3.55. But if you look directly to the left on the description, it says polyester braided hose. That's not polyester braided hose. That's Armorade hose. So that would tell you that's wrong. Also, if you... Armorade, Aramid, listen, okay. I'm done.
It's all right.
I'm done.
So now we measured.
Sometimes you're the bully. Just remember that.
We measured, and I've over crimped, which I don't know what the side effects of over crimping
More
are.
PSI.
It could make it more brittle.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can call him tomorrow, but I think it'd probably be okay. We're not too far off from our specs. You're supposed to measure every single one, and I guess we did that. But all right.
Yeah, Logan, I wouldn't mind if anyone wants to get this off the Brown and Miller website and go to Costco or not Costco. What's it called?
No, we'll get it in large.
Kinko's.
Go to
Kinko's
Office Depot
and just get an absolutely massive one printed, roll it up, and mail it to me. I'll take like honestly like a 4x8 and just stick it on the wall. That way I can't go wrong. So please.
No. Do it individually.
No. I'm good. A 4x8 is plenty good.
How about you just read and then we won't have a problem?
Well, if reading wasn't my problem, but I'm illiterate.
Well, he read it fine. It's just he got confused.
You
I just
really,
didn't
really
need
fun.
any attention.
He's been confused for a while though.
I got no excuse for that. I mean, I sucked. I sucked big ass on that.
Well, good job owning up to it.
What are you laughing at?
You were such a fucking hard job. It's all right.
I'm so mad at myself. I might shut down the shop over this.
Well, you could be like Mason and just get one thing wrong a day.
But yeah, this is just your one thing wrong for
This
the
is my
day.
one thing wrong today.
Yeah, you're good.
See, the issue is I normally wear these glasses, which help me read better.
Yeah?
But I haven't been wearing them lately. These are the glasses I usually wear to help read better.
Oh, yeah. That's why you're... Yeah.
All right, measure it, Matt.
Dude, you look so cool right now.
12.
Good God.
Our target is 988 to 992.
He's
988 to 992. 9875. Yeah, we'll call that 99.
So I think that the next thing I'm going to buy is the Brown & Miller uncrimper
Yeah.
to
You need
undo
that.
all of those.
Dude, you look styling and
We have
profile
one. It's a
right
cutoff
now.
wheel.
Oh, these are non-reusable.
Shit!
Right, that number. Are you trying to get me with that?
No, I was trying to get the viewers at home.
Matt the Prophet made a mistake. I can see it in your comments now.
Oh, Matt, how could you?
Matt made his first mistake.
I just want you guys to know that off camera, Matt's making mistakes left and right.
Oh yeah, 100%. I did crimp. I grabbed a fitting and I used this for mock-up. And I was like, sweet, I'll make one with a 45. And then I went over there and shoved it on there, crimped it, and I was like,
And I'm laying under there.
yeah, and I'm like, damn, that don't fit worth a shit now, but this is a 30-degree fitting. Eyeball. I got a little off of my degrees.
Sorry, and then Logan's mistake was I sent him to go buy me a trailer and I'll just put a picture up on the screen. The whole trailer is just cracked in half, and I already paid for it, so that's your mistake.
Was that my mistake?
I mean,
and then also the truck.
I know what happened though. I said to Logan, I was like, "Hey, look at it real good before you give him the money." And he was standing on the crack, so he's looking all around, said everything's good. But
he hardly see it.
But he didn't think to move and then look where he was standing. So you'll have that sometimes.
All right, let's.
I made a mistake. Being born. The cost of being alive is astronomically high. Like, we went to Carly C's and a 12-pack of Coke was at $9.50.
Well, that's just a sign that you shouldn't be drinking Coke.
No, but I mean,
you should be drinking water because it's healthier for you.
Like, yeah, I won't disagree with that at all. But inflation is a mofo.
It is, dude. It's
like,
crazy.
That's why I shop at the old Food Line whenever they're on sale. You know what I mean? When their drinks go on sale. If I ever hit the lottery though, Food Line, I'm coming back for you.
Overalls?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm coming back for you, Food Line, if I ever hit the lottery.
You said you shop at Food Line.
I do, but I
No,
want
he's
to
gonna go back to work after he hits the
I'm
lottery.
gonna have my own job. I'm gonna be the greeter.
You just like TKO'd Matt.
Code.
Look how nice that shit looks, and it's
It does look
correctly.
great.
All right.
How did we even get on this about using the wrong things?
Well, I was over there, and you're like, "Yeah, send it that." And I was like, "No, he's going to 375." And you're like, "No, it's a 340 right there." I said, "No, it's 375." And then you're like,
Hey, well, the one we did the other day is right. The one we did the other day is right because I read the sheet and I read the sheet.
All right, from now on, you
correctly.
read the sheet, I do the
Okay.
crimping. All right, Crimp King's back. I just need the crimp reader. All right, so we're just crimping away here. I guess
Dave, give us a selfie cam real quick.
hit him with a selfie cam.
Now hit it with Tyler.
All right, Tyler, hit him with a selfie cam.
I'm
You gotta
good.
look at it. You gotta look
I'm
at
good.
it. Look
I'm
people in the
good.
eyes.
Hey, I must ask you a question.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna get back to making fittings. Are we gonna make that ourselves?
we might have in our fitting pile over there a 1/2-inch MPT to 12. Ideally, that's what we would do. If not, we'll make it, and then it'll be like.
And then we can't really do the return until we.
No, we can hold the tank and kind of figure out where we're going with that. We can do it. We can do it.
I mean, really, what all are we lacking on this?
That's it.
The tank?
Yeah, we did our.
No, I'm saying like after that. Like, we
Oil
gotta take the
pan.
oil pan off and then re-RTV it. That'd be nice if we got done with that tonight.
Oil pan, plug everything back up.
I hate that oil pan too, so I ain't gonna mess with all of Matt. The small block Messiah do it. Sorry, small block Ford Messiah. This is your baby. We'll let you cradle it however you'd like.
Matt's like, damn, I hate this.
This is your watermelon. We'll let you eat it by yourself.
Watermelon.
This is your pizza. We'll let you slice it how you want. This is your car. We'll let you wreck it how you
Oh my god. Damn.
Alright, what do you need?
I thought he was about to start rhyming next.
Half-inch MPT, is that 12?
Yeah.
Alright, here, I got it right here. I got it right here.
Yeah. John can't read this either.
You might have better luck looking in the used fittings booklet. TV.
Nah,
But if we had a pegboard for all this stuff,
Dude, that's what I was saying the other day. I was like, how has it been like?
I can tell you that's not it.
No, but now I know what half-inch NPT looks like.
Are you kidding me?
First of all, why are these fuel rails half-inch NPT? That is like, what are we, a damn...
Early Holly rail,
Is that what
Edelbrock rail. No, those are like 3/8.
Alright, y'all, we got some stuff knocked out. We're kind of held up on this fitting here. We got some bungs coming in for a fuel tank. We got a fitting coming in. We're going to get at it first thing in the morning tomorrow, rip the oil pan off, put the oil pan on, and then really just go into final assembly. The plan is tomorrow to crank it.
crank it.
So tomorrow, by the end of the night, have both the black sheep cranked and this cranked, and then that will leave us Friday to do some button-up things. Are we concerned about anything? Like, what's your biggest concern right now?
No testing.
No testing.
Dyno.
You're concerned about the slippery oil pressure of the black sheep?
It's got good. It's not like
When it's cold, it makes like 80 pounds of oil pressure.
a little bit lower than I would expect out of the mechanical, the external pump. Usually it's around 100. I know sometimes they can be up like 115. It's adjustable, but once you get the adjustment, it's a spring in there. And once you get so much spring pressure on there, it's like you don't really gain any by putting turns in the pump.
But we'll try to put one turn in it.
I mean, we can. It's already up pretty much far.
We could try.
Yeah. So check that.
Really, other than that, everything else on the sheep is pretty much.
Yeah, we got our little flanges we got to do for our exhaust because the exhaust keeps breaking.
Yeah, we keep breaking the exhaust. We'll do that, and then really, I think the only other thing that we have to do is just kind of like give everything a once-over, maybe.
Yeah.
Check all the fluids, new battery. I mean, we're getting down to it on this guy here. We got fresh oil in there, and we could fire it up right now, technically speaking.
We could.
You want to try?
Sure.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, just bump it. Oh yeah, it's rolling.
Ready?
Yeah.
But I mean, the oil didn't look bad. I put half the oil back in this thing is that 4 quarts is the used oil, 4 quarts is new.
Yeah.
Look at me.
It sounds good. It sounds healthy, snappy.
I gotta do it one more time.